and welcome back to Bump Love. If you're new here, kindly do subscribe. Hit that bell so you receive notifications every Friday when episodes loaded with content on womanhood, motherhood, parenting drop. It is no secret, we love hearing from you. Your feedback has encouraged us so much that we have decided to create a brand new segment we are calling XOXO. We are sending our love back to you. We will be responding to comments right here on the show. Ching, ching.
So be careful what you comment.
One Lydia Tumwebaze got the memo right when she commented. Normalize liking, commenting, and subscribing to Bump Love.
Yes.
That's the most important.
And fine. What does that do for us on the show beyond making, of course, the ladies here proud of the work that they're doing? One, when you comment on the show, you create the topics that create the base that we use for the show.
Yeah.
The more people like and subscribe to our page, the higher the ranking, the greater the visibility, and the wider the reach. No woman, no mother, no parent should find themselves alienated or seeking for answers just because they were not able to reach the Bump Love page. So there you have it. Ladies, I would like to invite you onto another exciting episode of Bump Love. Who would like to go first? Who would like to reply first?
I know you're all looking.
A comment.
So we received a comment. This was the show we did on Okuguma.
Okay.
Oh, that was a good one.
It's our highest rated show, 100,000 views, 100K views.
Yes. Yeah, you guys really resonated with that show, and we enjoyed doing it. And it showed in the comment section. So I'm going to read a comment from someone called Catherine Ajenifuja. I don't know if you're Ugandan, but I'll go ahead and read your comment. And she says the conversation was phenomenal. Thank you for tackling a hard topic. After 30 years of marriage, we've reached our hardest moments. My husband lost his job and cascaded into a deep depression. Their marriage had already been shaky for some time prior to that. He completely rejected me. I was a stay-at-home mom with our 6 children. I was not opposed to working, but he wanted me home and at the same time making money. I had to do some deep inner work by the grace of God and give room for him to find his way. It's been 4 years. All the children are out of high school. I'm happily working and doing what I love. I was counseled to leave by many, but what held me is what one of the ladies said. Did I know that he was the one for me from the beginning? That would be you, Manuela. And she says the answer is yes. Therefore, I will stay no matter what. I'm finding my happiness because it's not dependent upon him. Slowly but surely, he is finding his way again. We live in the same house but separate. So I think there's still some tension there. I'm still believing that by God's grace, our marriage will be restored and that we will be jubileed. I think that's the time. And I just wanted to say kudos to you for sticking through the hard times. I think it takes a certain level of grace. And I think a bit of maturity also to say this guy is going through a thing. Let me allow him the grace to go through it. I remember an interview that former First Lady Michelle Obama had, one of the many interviews that she's had, and she talked about marriage. There's something she said that I feel resonates with what Catherine is talking about. She said that in their marriage, there was never a time when everyone was giving 100%. And I think that many times we go into these relationships hoping that he brings his bit, I also bring my bit, and we make magic. And that's a legit expectation, right? It's natural.
Until it's not.
Until it's not, right? Until reality hits, you know. And for some people, you will find that maybe there'll be a season in your marriage where you will give 100% and the other person will give even 20%.
True.
Maybe because of something that is going on in their lives and that you have no control over. And it might be for a very extended period of time.
sometimes you feel like someone's going to come with 20% because they just want to.
Right.
But life might have handed
them some lemons.
That's those lemons, and all they can give at that
time is 20%.
That's so
do you
true.
give up on them?
No.
You don't. No, you don't.
Oh, wow.
So I just wanted to commend
I love that.
for sticking through your marriage and just allowing your husband the grace to go through. We talk about depression. We've talked about depression in this show. And people going through depression, first of all, sometimes don't know they are sick. And even the way they respond is very irrational. Remember, you are married to an adult, so you are hoping that he's going to do adult things. But because he's sick and he is not in control of his faculties, that means he's doing things that are irrational. So for you to say, I'm going to allow him the space, while doing all the other things, taking care of 6 children, making money, doing the things that you love, and finding the help that you need. Kudos to you, Catherine.
Kudos. I like where she said, I'm aware that my happiness is not dependent on that.
That was so
deep.
That is so deep. Like when you get to realize that, you start to enjoy your marriage.
For sure.
Because your happiness can never be dependent on
anyone.
On anybody.
But it's even unfair.
It's unfair
to expect someone to make you
And yet we do.
Yes,
we do.
Yes,
Unknowingly.
I think it takes time to get to that place where you realize, but it's unfair for me to expect. But the truth is, we all enter knowing this one, he was created to make me happy. To sweep me off my feet and take me to another world where we will live happily ever after.
And I had from Michelle Obama. I had from her. She said there are times she gave 30. And Obama gave 70, and there are times she gave 70 and Obama. So it was never 50-50. She said it was never 50.
True.
It's so true. Even in our case, there's times there's a time I give negative.
You've shared before.
You've shared that before. You've shared
Chill these ones of 0.
Yeah.
I was negative, and Brian had to go over and above to reach me. And I've always felt like someone in a marriage needs to be willing to go that extra mile. If they're not like Pumla. Honey, I've removed you out of the equation. I've removed you out. There are some outliers.
Thank you.
Pumla. But I truly believe that if Brian had left me or had let me go, I'd have missed out on a really good relationship.
We love us some Brian.
Mine's also on Okuguma, so I thought somebody else would go first, so we can mix it up a bit.
I wanted to talk about depression because you'd even already started to kind of get into it. Juliana Kariuki, you must be from Kenya.
What's
up?
Karibu.
So Juliana says, kindly note that no one knows when they are at depression. Please don't blame. This came from our the show, The Guys Take Over, which you guys absolutely loved to the point that you even told us to remove it.
I know.
Almost. They did.
They said even if we don't come back, and they can take over. Wow.
And I remember that show was, I know I should get into it, but that show was so uncomfortable for many women that they were in the comments and they were just like, no. And we're like, guys, we asked the guys. We can't be in a place where also now we are refusing.
Exactly.
You listen and then move forward. What you can do next. Anyway.
That's true.
So this came from, I think the discussion was on postnatal depression, and I think Salvador had just, expressed that he didn't know that his wife, So Juliana was saying, kindly note that no one knows when they are at depression. Please don't blame anyone for the aftermath. You men need to observe the character change, even with other people, like our parents. Like our parents, you cannot blame anyone for not telling you that they are getting into depression. They just don't know. They are in denial. It's never easy for anyone. And Juliana, I agree with you that the truth is, you just don't know. As a person who's going through depression, you have no idea. Or you just feel a certain sense of yes, you feel a certain kind of way. You don't feel yourself, and then you don't know how to explain it. And then the problem is that when you then try to explain it, people look at you like either you're dodging work or you're dodging.
You're making excuses.
You're making excuses. You can't, you know, and then they keep so you always feel alienated at that point from yourself. First of all, and then from everyone, that you just rather hide and keep away from, you just, you know. But then again, also, while I think that the people around you should notice a change, I think with all the mental health awareness that has been done, it's time for us to be able to say, I'm not feeling well. I'm not feeling something. Well. Something is not right. Something is not right. Right now, I don't know. I've fallen into something. It's a deep dark hole. Like I feel that even us as people that might be going through that depression, I think time has now reached for us to say, I am not fine. I'm not feeling well. I need help. Get me help now. Get me help right now. Because everyone around us is also going through their lives. And to think that, they have to notice when a man will. And be very, even they might be going through their own case. So now you know that there's something called postnatal depression. The day you decide you're getting married, you're some back gown. You are there entering the bed to have coitus. You're on cloud 9. You're enjoying wonderful orgasms. The day you hear that you have conceived, 9 months later you've had the baby. Start to watch. Start to listen to yourself. Am I okay? You know that stress brings depression. If you've gotten promoted, you've signed your paper, increase in your salary. You're signing, you're happy. Please note that stress brings. So every day after that promo, watch. Stress. Listen to yourself, to your feelings, to your emotions. Watch it. You're there, your husband you've just found a message from your husband telling some young girl how her bum is so brown and so hot. That brings depression. You get? Watch, don't be there. Where's the girl? We have to beat her. Where's her picture? Let us watch. Rosette, we go. Rosette, together. Who is she? That's she not me. All my children. Where we came from. When you are doing all that, when you are sitting down, ask yourself, how am I? Am I okay? Am I fine? Do all that kajibirizo. Nayenga. Inside you're checking yourself. You've decided to go and do a master's, yet you have many responsibilities, many children. You have many responsibilities. You have many responsibilities. You've decided now I want to go and do law. I want to go and do medicine. Check. When you've gotten a scholarship, you are going. You've gotten the passport. You are leaving your children behind. Be ready for the signs. Ask yourself. Take note. Because we all have to enter this thing called watching out for each other, but also watching out for ourselves.
Of all the diseases, I think mental health is one disease that other people have to watch out for you, because you become like a baby. You don't even know when it's happening. You write all these things down and say, I'll check. And when the time comes, you tell yourself, I got this. Most people with mental diseases, illness or weakness do not even know that that is a problem. So I think we should call out also to the people within our communities to watch out. When you call Rosette and tell a man, let's go beat that chick, it's Rosette's duty to remember, Manuela, yes, we are angry, but I don't think, yes. Because you yourself.
Even when you are normal, you can go to beat her.
I know.
Please not.
I just thought, I would.
Usually when you are normal, you should be able to go and beat.
I just thought I would interject on that particular.
No, and of course that's where I started.
People
do need to watch. But then you can't, we need to be, now with all the mental health awareness.
True.
We should be in a place where you can see it from there, like how she sees bad what? Bad life from far. It'd be like, I am applying for this job, I want to get another child, yet I am 60 years old, about 50 years, I've already had children now. That other child, yes. We have a friend who's the gap between her last born and then the newborn child is 5 years. She's not fine. You know, like she'll tell you genuinely, I'm not okay. Yeah. So you know that I had a baby 5 years ago. I've gotten pregnant. Let me watch. True. Anything could happen. Yeah.
Take care of yourself as well. Yeah. That's very true.
Yes.
True.
Okay. I have a comment from Bamanyiri. This was from the Okubuma show. Again, hello Bump Love and lovers. I feel like you forgot to talk about finances. Women Kuguma, because they have nowhere to start and they fight for their marriage because they have put in a lot into that marriage to get what they have. Then a man goes and gets another girl and takes all that this woman has worked for or has been patiently waiting for, and he gives the best to the other girl. That is a blow to the head. That's what she says. And yes, I do acknowledge that finances or people in the partners in more vulnerable economic positions sometimes stay in unhealthy marriages just because, or unhealthy relationships, because they don't see a future outside the environment or the bubble that they've put themselves in. But honestly, for me, it rarely comes to me quickly because I feel that that is a reason that is best reserved for an era that our mothers lived in, or an environment that is culturally regressive. But in a place where we are right now, personally, I've said this on a show before, I teach financial independence. I preach, actually, financial independence, mostly to single women and cohabiting women. But because we have different financial value systems, when it comes to married women, I usually preach financial empowerment. Financial empowerment meaning that regardless of whether, because in a marriage, many times you have joint finances, right? So sometimes it's not easy to be financially independent. So financial independence ideally is just the ability to be able to sufficiently support yourself as an individual without relying on other people. But you've got to remember, there are stay-at-home moms. There are women who rely entirely on their husbands for a source of livelihood. Yes, and then there's women now who are earning a living. So financial empowerment ideally is more than earning. It's more than liquid cash. It is more about financial literacy. You have to be able to not only be financially literate, but also financially aware to be able to participate in the financial decisions of your household. Yes. I feel that when women get married, they leave a lot of the financial control to their husbands. And I feel that that's really detrimental because research has shown that the person in a marriage who holds the money holds the power.
True.
And it comes from things as little as, we've had an argument, I don't have money now to shop. But because we've had an argument, you can't talk because you're feeling, and because also at the end of the day, this depends on your maturity level
and also the relationship.
There's so many factors involved that if you don't have your own money to do something, now there's no salt and sugar in the house. Because even the man is using it to dangle that carrot. Like, okay, you come to me, auntie, I'm going to wait for you. You come, and then also you maybe have this ego issue, and you're like, me, I can't do anything, and now you're there, and now that even now causes more financial strains in the home. That's just the little things. This is the worst part. The person you're relying on, your husband, might lose his source of livelihood.
Yes.
He might become mentally or physically incapacitated.
True.
Or worse, he might die.
True.
And I like to speak death mostly because it doesn't matter what God you pray to.
Death is
inevitable.
True.
You are going to die. And with the exception of Romeo and Juliet, Adolf Hitler and his wife, couples don't die at the same time.
True.
And now let's educate each other. According to World Health Organization 2022 data, the average life expectancy of a Ugandan man is 60 years old. The average life expectancy of a Ugandan woman is 65 years old.
What it went up. It went up because women are doing better for themselves.
Yes.
It was 63, it went up to 65. And the men's dropped from 62 to 60.
Yes.
And mostly because of a lot of like depression, mental health issues, suicide rates of men going up, a lot's happening in the male spaces that we need to have conversations about, by the way. So what does that mean? The hard truth that married women don't want to hear.
That their spouse could die.
Not could. Your husband is most likely going to die before you. And you've got to be able to plan for that. And when your husband dies, now you have to take control of the estate, of your children, of your home. But where were you when he was planning and making decisions with the money? Nowhere. Because you decided that your entire role in the household was to nurture and look after children and not be part of the financial decisions made in the home. So if I always empower women to take it upon themselves to educate themselves on financial matters and empower themselves literally. It doesn't matter whether your finances are joined or they are separate. And in this, what do I mean when I say this? And by the way, I can teach a whole
mastermind.
A whole mastermind on this.
Mastermind.
But I can just give you very quick tools that you can use quickly. Number one, basic finances. Make yourself aware about the basic finances in the home. This is what assets do we have. Some people don't even know where the documents of their land are. They have no idea in whose names those assets are. No idea which lawyer has been used to put all those documents aside. No idea. The financial transactions that happen in the home on a daily basis. Some women have no idea. For them, they just know that the money has come to me because I gave this budget. And they have no idea what else is happening around that. Then there's also, I said documents before. And when you realize that, okay, this may be a bit much, there are so many classes on the internet now on financial literacy. Just learning about planning, and planning for as little as set your household budget. That already is a plan. Start there. And then keep track of that budget and track its progress. Then set and identify goals for yourself as an individual, because you're an individual. At the end of the day, even if you're in a union, you're an individual. Identify goals, and then make a vision and say, this is our vision. But we have set goals, but we also have individual goals, our personal goals. But as long as those goals are aligned to the set goal and the set vision, great. We are good. Then we are good. After you've set your goals, then now see, it is my most important, savings. It doesn't matter where your money is coming from. Your husbands will usually give you more money than you need. True. Not want. They'll always give you less than you want. Yes, that's true. But they will usually give you more money than you need. Say, and now I'm speaking in homes where people are not earning, because we usually speak in homes where there are two people earning, and that's a little bit easier to tackle than the one where a woman is relying on her husband. Save before you consume. This is a cardinal rule in personal financial management. People buy, consume, and then whatever is left over, then they say, oh, let me remove those peanuts.
And it's never there.
And it's never there.
Or it ends up in
any
a
money
piggy
you
bank.
add, let me tell you, even if before you pay the people you owe money, decide in your mind, this is the saving I need to meet my financial goal. Put it aside, then start everything else. If that money is not enough to take care of what you need, then you're living above your means. That is it. So you've got to do the work backwards to see where can you cut expenditures or where can you grow your income. Balance your income balance sheet. When that is done, now I need to ask you a question. You know that we're all going to reach an age after saving, investment. Women, we need to be able to take charge of investments, of savings and investments in the home. I feel like a man can't bring back a paycheck, and then he's also the one making the plans, doing the savings, doing the investments. For you, what are you doing?
Your contribution.
What is your contribution to that? Women should really, ideally, wives should have a contribution, a monetary contribution in the fact that now they are doing the planning, the savings, the investment. Then remember, you're going to retire. Salary earners, you're going to retire. And entrepreneurs, you're going to reach an age where you're too old to carry on at the same energy or pace to bring back returns. So if you're going to a trip, and in that trip money, you've not removed money for retirement, for a time when you will not be able to make money at the same pace that you are now, we have a problem. We have a problem. So, and this is where I usually like to say that there are women, and it's something for me I don't understand, but I marvel at it, where a woman comes and brings all her earnings and gives them to the husband. We are not going to celebrate you unless you are involved in the planning, saving, investment, and all financial decisions around that money. Yes, now let me give you, to close, let me give you a fun fact in this. The word love, in most of our African dialects, and you give there your money because of love, yeah?
No,
but
for family,
the word love,
family.
Family is love, isn't that what
You're
love,
true,
love is? Love is family.
Yes.
Now, the word love, in most of our African dialects, does not have a direct translation.
True.
We always translate from I like you. Most African dialects, the word love cannot be interpreted with one singular word.
True.
Guess what word in every single language in the entire universe can be translated with one word?
Money.
Money. Money. Sente,
yes.
Pesa,
yes.
Mafaranga,
yes.
Echente. What is it in your
Chakwa.
Chakwa. It has one word it can be. So if you're going to feel that you're going to invest more time in love, which cannot be translated
oh my gosh.
in your language, than on money, which can be translated fully, which your culture understands, because even the most illiterate person who can't read and write can count money.
Yeah. Sure.
So my advice to you is that money, finances should never, I'm not an advocate, by the way, for living homes. I'm an advocate for healthy relationships. Healthy relationships mean you should be able to speak about money with your partners. And if you can't do that, then you plan somehow for a time that you cannot predict. So for me, Okuguma is not finances is not a reason to leave.
The problem with us women, when we are before they take us to be wives, our eyes are closed like this.
And yet at that point,
at that time, if you sat down and looked at your man, you would tell what kind of person he is. Most times you can, some people might change, but the majority of people, even before you enter that relationship, you will see how he acts. You will see how he reacts towards money. You'll see if he's a person who gets a lot of debt. You'll see if he's a person who saves. You will see all of those things even before you get married.
And do you know how you respond when you find a man like that? You take a back seat.
Yes.
And then now you want to take the front seat when you're already in the marriage.
Thank you.
But when you're dating, you should be able, people will treat you the way you allow them to treat you. So if you decide to always be a damsel in distress, people will always treat you like a damsel in distress. And then it will be so difficult when now you grow your wings and want to be a superwoman.
Yeah. Or if you find that he's not kawa, then you say, oh, I'll change him.
Bottom line, do better.
Do better. And I like that what you just talked about is so paramount in this whole marriage thing. Money.
Africans don't like talking about money.
Understands money. Yeah, it will take me to my next comment.
Okay.
I'll tell you one. This is Jemima. And this was a comment from the segment of our roles, the role of a mom and a dad in a home.
Okay.
So I've seen my mom provide everything.
That was long ago.
That was a while ago.
But I remember my mom was in that show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I've seen my mom provide everything from basics to tuition, including that of her stepkids. Yet we live with my dad. Ladies, this has given me emotional torture. I'm even afraid of dating because of we marry men like our dad. I'm surely hurting and broken.
Oh.
So really,
I saw that comment, Bambi. My heart also got a tag.
Yeah, this is Jemima, like, history. She's afraid. And you cannot do anything, or we need to overcome our fears. We need to overcome our fears. Like if you want anything, even if it's a business, you cannot start with so much fear. You always have to overcome your fears. So the same with dating. You cannot say you're afraid because you saw your dad do all sorts of things. And it takes me back to what you were saying. If you've seen this, so you do better. You know how to choose better. You know how to choose a man that will, will give you that financial security that you need, because this was her problem. If the mother is the one toiling for all this, and yet we are innately built as women to have that helping hand, like, we need to do something about it. Humla said, gone are the days. We are not living in our mother's days anymore. We need to bring something to the table. But now here she is, really afraid of what her mom went through. She's doing everything from tuition to even her step kids paying tuition for all that. That was a bit much. So just
Auntie Love.
I know. Yeah, but for me, honestly, what I would tell her or advise Jemima is to not be afraid. And also, if you're looking for a partner, do not, you now know better who to choose. You put your your cards on the table. You want a man who is this and this and this. The truth is, no one is forcing you. No one is forcing you to get married. You get, sometimes we seem like, Banage, they forced you into that marriage. No, no one forced you. You have your cards on the table. Pick what you want. A friend of mine was giving me, she's in the UK, she lives in the UK. And she was saying when she was looking for a partner, they don't have time to date. You don't expect that a man will stop you on the street and, you know, ask you out. She told me, she's so funny, she told me she put all this, she said, I do not go to church. I want money. She actually said, I am looking for a stable partner. Which things many people forget to say because, what will people say? Yeah, they will say, no, what will people? She said, I'm looking for, I'm not a Christian, I do not go to church, I want a man who is financially stable. And then she told me, this guy, he came after he married her, he said, you know what? I was attracted. I'm not seeing this from anyone before. Everyone will say, I have a good relationship with my God. I am all sorts of people. So afraid of those. Put write down everything you want in a man. If he does not meet them, you stand out.
And I think Manuela is a living, breathing example of somebody who decided that this is what I saw and I do not want. Now let me look for this other.
I feel like many times we forget, you know, like motivational speakers keep saying, see the glass half full, not half empty. People will say, oh no, you know, we marry our fathers. But the truth is sometimes we marry men that are not our fathers. You know, so you be the one who marries the one that's not your father. Be the exception. You just decide me. I'm not going to marry my father.
If your father has shown you all these examples that you really don't want in a man.
Yes.
Then still you take yourself there to your father again. Do better.
When the passes theory.
No, but I would like to throw a small spanner in the works. But maybe one day I will expound better. So the Proverbs 31 woman, have you guys heard of her?
Yeah.
Yes. Even I have.
Even you fear her.
Even I fear her.
She's quite something.
The Proverbs 31, the Bible says, a virtuous woman who can find. And then when you get, like you so rightfully said, there are certain words which you have to go to like the original language. So when you go into the Greek translation of virtuous, ladies, let me tell you what virtuous means. Virtuous means of physical strength. That woman used to work out. I continue.
Go on.
Of practical competence. That you have to be there and you have brains. That is a what? A virtuous person. The third one is, the third one is going to get you. Financial wealth. That's what the Bible says.
Even the Bible,
even the
talks about
Bible
women and finances.
Yes.
I think I should go back to religion. I should come back. God is calling me.
God is calling me.
Welcome, sister. Welcome, girl.
Ladies, the Bible is very clear for women to be able to stand financially. Let me continue that scripture. It says that verse says, it says a virtuous wife who can find, and then it later says that the heart of her husband trusts in her. He has no need of spoil. Where does that scripture come? You see, in the old days they used to fight. I'm sorry, they used to fight. They used to fight, and when they would fight another tribe, when they would finish fighting, they would go and kind of loot. They would loot. The husband of a virtuous woman who has the other qualities, including financial wealth, him, he just sits and waits for people to collect. Because he's like, Nze wangi, I don't need. My wife is financially stable. I don't need to loot. I don't need to steal. When you loot, he has no need for spoil. He just helps people to carry, and he lives there. They would not steal. They would take gold, silver. They would loot that. that they finished the war. Naye the man, the husband of a virtuous woman, is like my wife. She already bought land. She works hard. In the home, she's so darlings, darlings, especially the married ones, darlings. Let's go make financial wealth.
Thank you so much for saying married. By the way, when I speak about financial empowerment, the tools that I have just been sharing with you, I speak to married women specifically because the law only provides for their protection under the covenant of marriage. Cohabiting with people of Denisa. Yes. The law, I have different tools that I can give you because the law does not protect you from a lot of the things of merging of finances, of assets, and I don't encourage you usually to do it, but we'll have a money talk.
Yeah, let's have a money talk.
We'll have a money talk.
Darling, we need that one.
Okay, so the one that I chose is by somebody called Flourish.
Oh, Flourish! Flourish! Flourish, we see you.
Flourish is
a big comment.
Flourish's comment goes like this. I have a cousin who got pregnant with a married man. I asked her if she knew he was married, and she said she knew after she had the baby. Guess what? She went ahead to get a second baby with the same man. When I asked her why she had another child, she said why she had another child with this man after clearly knowing his marital status. She said she wanted a brother or a sister for her first child. I was so angry at this woman's thought process, but the second time, it sounds like you are trying to ruin another woman's marriage.
I laugh. Why would you laugh? Because okay. Yeah.
Choka, it's funny yet it's not funny.
It's funny and yet it's not funny. Yeah.
But it's so funny.
It really is.
Why is it funny?
Why it's not funny only is because in the African concept, really, people regardless of whether they are married or not. Why it's funny is that we're in a different era, we're in a different world. Like, why are we still behaving like this?
Yeah.
But you, Angie, I saw that comment and I really wanted to hear from you. I want to hear you.
I'm going to try to speak to this comment and to the young women who find themselves in this type of situation. I'll be honest, I hope I don't step on anybody's toes. But yes, we shall.
We shall.
Had I been asked this question 20 years ago, my answer would have been quick and clear-cut. I would have said, with all the men in the world, with all the lions, all the Simbas, why would you choose as a beautiful young girl to become the hyena in another woman's, in another lioness's family table? To have to never be able to hunt during the day, creep around, just leeching like a blood-sucking parasite.
Oh my.
We're not saying sorry.
We're unapologetic.
Wow.
But ladies, that was me 20 years
ago.
20 years later, I now know things that I couldn't have known then.
Of course.
And I speak to people who find themselves in these positions. That I honestly now know that there's no baby girl who is born wishing to be a second, a third, or a fourth option to any man. I now also know that men quanaring, I don't know if they still say it these days, but it's called conning. That by the time you realize you've been conned, the first set of locks have already set in, and either there is a baby in vitro or the one that has already arrived. I also know that human relationships are like Russian roulette. If anything, they are worse. You just don't know what
you just don't know.
You know, you get in and you're thinking, okay, let me leave this relationship, and you do not know that you're walking into a new relationship that could be the biggest mistake of your life. And this time you have a baby, an innocent baby in tow. I also know 20 years later that we would love to blame the other woman. But by the time a man or a woman is stepping outside of their union, there is already a problem that has very little to do with this other woman. What this other person is simply an accelerant to an already bad situation.
Yes.
I don't want people to think that I encourage extramarital affairs and everything that they come with. But if you find a man and you are able to stay or work things out long enough to have one child, woman, have the entire litter.
With a married man?
With a married man?
Is this where Angie stands?
The entire litter.
With that same married man?
With that same married man. That's why I said, had you asked me this question before.
I see.
So you will have one set of in-laws to deal with, one set of mother-in-law to handle, and slowly with time to love. And of course, you will have one lioness, aka the wife, to deal with. And maybe with time, you will earn her respect. I know I could be shaking tables, but the truth is,
The cups have
just that we can't afford to replace them.
they know they are knuckle.
but the thing is this, a woman can be a mother. A woman is the primary caregiver. A woman is a mother. That's what children need the most. But like it or not, a woman will never give a child a surname. She will never give you an ancestral line. She does not carry that on to you. So if you, as you, have failed to find yourself a man of your own, at least do your children a favor and ensure they have one structural root they come from that they can call home. And maybe amongst this litter of yours, you will be able to make a daughter, raise a daughter who has enough self-worth to realize that she can never be somebody's second, third, or fourth. That, personally, is my take.
Your take is entirely the take that I believe but would never say out loud, to be honest. Because you're saying it and I'm like, and I'm wondering, why am I so triggered by that? But it's, I've thought about it. I feel, well, it may be the easier route, but is it the right one?
Yeah, it's,
so
it's a
my
moral,
struggle
it's a
is
moral
a more
versus reality.
Reality.
I don't even think it's the easier route.
I think it is.
Staying is not the easier route.
You think?
Deciding to have children with the same person usually is the easier route because it's better for your children. It's the better decision for your children.
Can I tell you something?
But is it morally right?
You spoke about when you enter a new relationship, how you feel. That high. Yeah. So every time when you do things like that, you are looking for that high, for that perfection. But when I say what I'm saying, it has absolutely nothing to do with the parent. It has a lot to do with the child. Abanaba, I have a friend who had 3 children with sickle cells.
Oh.
And with each child, she had to bury in Onoweno, Onoweri, Onoweno.
Okay, they were from different dads.
And when she's with this spouse, mourning for this child, no matter how hard he holds you, that wasn't his baby.
Of course.
And she would say, Angie, umfa,
Of course.
I die inside. So the truth is, why I gave all these examples is going out and entering a new relationship is like Russian roulette. Any second
This is true.
that the pistol will enter the chamber. So how about, people will say it's the easiest route, but I know it's not. Stay.
I want to say something.
Please do, Rachel. Be our voice of reason. Say sorry if you must.
I'm sorry. No, but yeah, I mean, and that's
her opinion.
Yeah. That's her take.
That's her take.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think two wrongs make a right. I also think that, and I come from a different value system and a different different belief system.
Yeah.
That our wombs are gates. Our wombs bring life into the world. You're starting an era, you're starting a season, you're starting a generation.
Yeah.
And the foundation is very important. You've already made a mistake in my world by having a child with a married man. Now you know better. I think there's room for redemption.
Yeah.
There's room for you to go find a man that maybe God planned for you in some shape or form and start the right way.
And when that doesn't work?
I said there's room for redemption. That's between you and your God. How that pans out, how you maneuver that. So I'm hoping that you're still not playing guess. Like you're not just going and saying, oh, I hope this one works. Like you're doing your due diligence, all the stuff that we've talked about here on the show. You're praying about it, you're running your background checks, you're doing all of that stuff. Again, life happens. We never know what life is going to hand us. But like just having that basic foundation where it's like, I found this man single, I found this man by himself, he was not committed anywhere else. And then you bring children into this world, you have started an era with all these good things. You started with a married man, he was in covenant with someone else. And now you have brought children into this world. You don't know what is going to happen down the line. There are consequences to that action. That's what I believe. So if you've had a child with a married man and then you go on to say, now that I even know he's married, let me put a sibling. I feel like you're not setting the right foundation for your children because you may not get punished for it, you may not receive the consequences, but your kids will.
My question
shaky
is,
ground, man.
It is very
shaky ground.
It actually is, and as I said, times I have seen different things that have somehow led me to understand. I'm not that type of woman, but yes,
definitely.
you know,
And we've seen everything you've said, by the way, Angie, everything you've said, I have the women you speak about. That's why I said it's easier, but maybe I used the wrong word. I feel like the women who have chosen those paths just have it's hard on both sides, but I feel like they've actually had it easier, and that's why I'm saying when we factor in the moral compass, is when it just powers everything.
True.
And me, I feel like, and to add on to that, because I am aware of that problem, I'm aware of the problems you raise by spreading your litter.
Yes.
Then also because now you had sex with a married man, call yourself for some time and say, let me have this child. And we be here together. You're looking for another child to reward yourself. After you've made a mistake. Now you're bringing them together and putting them here. Why are you rewarding yourself? Why aren't you choosing to punish yourself for your mistake, to suffer a little and not always be at least atone for it for a while? You know, like I have your one child and stop and move on and cut. And then let God judge you with your one child.
You bring it in an angle of this person should punish themselves. They are not here for that. They are here for it all.
That's true.
They are not apologetic about
that is true.
That is true. That's why they're able to get
that
the
is
second
true.
and the third.
Imagine.
So, can I speak as a child, as the one whose mother?
Oh, by the way, there we go.
So, because I'm from a polygamous
family, and her mom is not the first wife.
And my mom is the last wife after 3. So for her, she didn't only know one child, one wife. She knew the second, and she knew the third. Then she had the first born, second born, and the third born.
She did not punish herself.
No,
she did not kept rewarding.
So it's not about fun.
I'm going to be I'm glad you're the one who
So that's why I said that I heard where you are coming from, where you're both coming from. Like it is morality versus reality. When you reach nga, you are the one who's having sex with the married man. It's kind of different when you are the one in the thing. And I'll say this as a child born of. I've seen what my mom has gone through. And yes, while she had one set of like in-laws, one set, there was another woman. There were other children. And she felt like, or they made her feel like she destroyed their lives. And to sit every day feeling like being told that you've destroyed a family. Like at the point when you're engaging, I think you don't think it, but later.
They never think of the consequences.
Yeah, that it's hard, and then the kids are the ones who tell you, and they're the ones who show you. Very rarely do you get outliers who will welcome you and say, you know what, and it's okay, my husband went out and so I see you have his children. There are very rare cases where that happens. But the truth is, everyone comes and their dream is to have a nuclear home, a nuclear family. And then when it doesn't happen, there's a certain amount of pain. I'll tell you that I've never felt like a first child. You know, like because it's like we are not that. Yeah, I know that's my dad, but he's not. It's like he's not my dad. You know what I mean? Because that nuclearity of it's so distorted. And I remember fighting. Like now I grew up to fight that spiritual thing that my mom had done. Like I wake up every day to be intentional to break it. And I feel that what a thing on top of your head. I'm like I didn't ask for this. Like I wasn't part of this, decision. You know. I wasn't part of that decision, and it's so heavy. Even when I'm talking to Brian, I'm just like, man, I don't know. We have to stay married. Yeah. We have to stay married because I have to break something that happened in the past. And for my mom, for her to tell me if there's anything she would have done right.
Would have changed.
Would have been that. If there's anything she could have changed.
Yes.
Whew. So she just says, I'm glad that I have you. But if there's anything I would have changed, I shouldn't have brought pain to that family. I shouldn't have brought pain to that woman. Yes, she was the third, which was also amusing because we're just like, but also she was the third. Also the second one was the second. So she was like, all of them should have known that they caused pain. Yeah. But even then we say it as a like kind of like as a joke. But
many people's
reality. It's heavy. And then there's and for these ones they were all that one where they don't get married. But there's already a commitment. So I feel like if my mom even had that pain and yet there was no marriages, no white weddings, no going to court.
Imagine now.
If she had that pain, how much more if
would she have
there's a ring? You're there, you're having sex with mama. The ring is shining in the night.
She might help you and take it off.
And we have had many comments, by the way. We've had many comments that have requested over and over again for us to tackle some of these issues. The same way we have the men's view of the way we think. Yes. They've also asked numerously for us to be able to tackle issues from a polygamous I view.
Yes.
I see it in a few episodes, and I'm always saying, by the way, Manuela could speak about that. So I'm so happy that you brought that angle out today. But I feel like we should have like a real full show
on it.
You know, talk about polygamy.
I know, I'm sure I've shocked very many of you.
Love you for it though.
No, I think it's what you're talking about is reality.
It's reality.
I don't think there's
reality kicks in, and that's
and people are going to come on horses, but they should
on
know
some high horses.
On high horses,
Oh, yes.
but they should know it is reality.
I am very ready for that because I think it's also, this is the time that we should, as you say, start speaking about the reality. And the reality is that Christianity was brought by the white man? Are we saying, my dad always says this, are we saying...
Not born by white people.
Christianity was brought by...
Not to Africa, by white people. It actually started in Ethiopia.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It wasn't it's a misconception.
Misconception, but I'm saying okay, the way we take it is that somebody came and taught us that this is how things are supposed to be done for you to go to heaven. My dad always asked, do you want to tell me that your forefathers do not have seats in heaven because they did not marry their wives?
They don't believe in heaven.
They believe in an afterlife.
Yeah,
they live in an afterlife. So same thing with this. We talk about, because all this comes down to the union of marriage, the sacrament of marriage.
Yes.
But if God really wanted for one woman to be with one man, he should have made us about the same number in population.
Because we are going to enter a religious nankage.
We have a Muslim Rama there. He's happy. He's even jubilating.
And the truth is, if we were to pick a leaf from Islam, sometimes they make it work better than us because you accept this is what is happening. But us covering our heads like ostriches and telling ourselves, this is my husband, we have only our children, those who on the side are not, at the end of the day, it bites you and it bites you real hard. So flourish.
Solomon had 700 wives.
Fantastic.
So, well, that's why I think Rachel said this conversation. I mean, Haggai was, Sarah gave her maid servant.
I don't know where, along the way, how it started, one man for one woman.
That's why we're saying.
But like I said, my opinion, and then...
You know what, we actually had so many comments, but I'm so happy with the way this conversation's gone. I feel it's the perfect way to like just end this show. And we really hope that this comment space XOXO can actually even provoke many more comments in the comment section. And why I wanted to actually say this, why I really love Bump Lovers compared to many other platforms I've seen, is that most people, when they're delivering their feedback or conversations, they remain respectful. Yes. And we really hope that we can keep with that trade. Yeah, maintain. There are a few bad seeds. We see you. We see you. And we are too respectful, like we are not going down or low with you. And we are just happy that we won't be spoiled by the one or two bad seeds, you know, in our baskets. Because most Bump Lovers respond respectfully, even if they are not agreeing with our opinions. Yeah, and I love them for it.
Yeah. So, I was just about to say, and with that. So there you've had it, another exciting Bump Love episode. Please do not stop dropping those comments so that we can keep these conversations going. We are at the Golden Tulip. The Golden Tulip is located in the heart of Kampala on 12B Kafu Road. The Golden Tulip caters for both business and leisure travelers. Do come in, especially on Sunday, because they have a scrumptious buffet that is at 90,000 for adults and an affordable 60,000 for children. Until next time, with love from Bump Love.